Hey, welcome back. So, you want to invest. And this time, you're investing in yourself. Good! It's the best investment you'll ever make. And if you're trying to figure out where to get started, well, I got 5 easy steps on how to get the ball rolling. Step number 1. Usually this advice isn't quite often recommended, but in this time, you can do it. Think back. I know it's always like, think forward, don't look back, press forward. The river is placed on the side. I forget that quote. If you're looking back, you can't see in front of you, all that stuff. But this time, just for a second, not very long, think back. Think back at what you used to love. If you're still doing it, if you're not still doing it, what makes you happy, starting from when you were young to now. Think back at what used to make you happy, if it was healthy and good, and why did you stop? Why did you give up? Why is that not a desire anymore? And think now. Think about, what do you love now? What do you desire out of life now? What brings you to that happy place, to that place of peace, to that stress-free environment? What is that? Think back and then think now for step number 1 into what makes you happy. Literally, it's like finding your purpose. What's your thing? What's your jam? Step number 2, set time aside for yourself. So, you got a job, you got a family, you have all these things you're giving your time to, but when are you giving time to yourself? And it needs to be more than 5 minutes. Seriously. If you have a job, the standard 9 to 5, you're giving about 8 to 9 hours to your job. Especially if you commute, an hour there, an hour back, 30 minutes or so, some traffic, some gas. You literally sometimes leave an hour to yourself, and at times you share that with somebody else. At times we try to find this time, but it's something that needs to be made. You need to make this time for yourself. Set aside time. And you don't have to do anything. Just be, just think, just exist. Just give that time to yourself. You don't have to be doing anything, but just taking time to yourself, be in your thoughts, and for the most part, be still. And you don't have to do that all the time. Start off by being still, and then give that time to what you love. What's your motivation throughout the day? Like, you can wake up at 5 a.m. and work till 10 p.m. because from 10 to 11, that's your jam, and half of it is sleeping, and that's okay. You know the good old quote, what you give your time to is where your heart is, but also where you give your money is where your heart is. Step number 3, read a book. So you used to do it in high school, middle school, you're out of school, no one can force you to read a book again, I know. But when you read a book that you love, that's pouring into you and has interests that you actually care about, it's good. It's good to listen to other people's voices besides your own in the category and interests that you have. Read a book. And when you read a book, it forces you to do number 1, to set aside time to read it. Now, I know everybody's very busy, myself included. You don't always have to paper read it. Now, that can be an audible. So what do we say now? We listen to books? Does that still count? I don't know. It should still count. The book was read, it was listened to, it was experienced. However you need to have that, experience a book. There you go, experience a book. When you have your voice that's speaking positive to yourself, you can do it. And then another one on top of that, that's opening up ideas that you never thought of. It's so much better to help you figure out where you're going next, or to encourage you on where you already know you want to go next. Reading a book is literally like feeding the soul, the brain. Try it. If you don't like it, chances are the book wasn't good. Try it again. Going through these. Step number 4, learn something new. I know, you're smart, I get it, but learn something new. You're really good at this, you're really good at that. Let's use an example. You're really good at dancing. So you're like, I can dance, I can teach dance, I'm really good at dancing. But the way you're able to really harness that skill is learn other types of dancing, maybe take some dance classes. You're gonna be able to really fully experience that thing that you love when you're learning from somebody else that's adding to what you already know, even if you're really good at it. And it's also cool to learn something that you have no idea about. For instance, I read a book that got me interested into investing in myself and getting more into the business world. And I used to be like, I'm talent, I'm an artist, I don't do business. But then I read the book and it just opened up another idea or concept? Why don't I try to not just be talent or just be this artistic, talking, moving person? Why don't I try to also be a business person? Why don't I try to open up this part of myself that I'm probably really good at and just haven't really felt the need to do? Like, how about I just learn it and know it, and that's good enough? For instance, I will admit, I always wondered, could I be? I don't know. Well, I don't need to, so that's fine. Maybe you're thinking the same thing. Something that you thought you might be able to do, but you're doing fine without it. Try it anyways. Give it a try. Learn something new. I get it. You went to middle school, high school, college, graduate, you're done with school. But this time, learn something that you want to know about, that you're going to want to read that book about. You can never know too much. You can never learn too much. It helps make a better you. It humbles you a little bit. If you keep putting yourselves in atmospheres where you always know it all and you always know the best and there's nobody above you, it's not really a great way to live. I mean, it's a great way to be feeling yourself like, I know everything. Nobody knows more than me. But you're not growing. So, what am I trying to say here? You're stunting your growth mentally. You're not growing. You've reached a cap. Continue to grow. Continue to grow. And you do that by learning something new. Learning something. What number are we on? Step number 5. Take a risk. Take a leap of faith. If you talk to business people or just people in general that actually know about investing, it's about taking a risk. You don't really make an investment by taking a little, I'll do this. Like, for instance, it's not really called an investment. It's called dabbling. Don't dabble anymore. Invest. I'm not about spending money you don't have, but I'm huge on taking a leap of faith. So, if that's the one thing that's holding you back from trying something new is paying for it, pay for it. If the one thing that you're trying to do is taking away an hour from your sleep, do it anyways. Lose an hour of sleep. You'll be fine. If that one thing you want to do means you don't get to hang out with your friends on the weekend, do it anyways. Invest. And when you invest, that means you're investing something that you want, that you love, and you're giving it to that thing that you know is good for you. You invest in your company, you invest 8 hours a day, most likely. Most people invest 8 hours a day into their job, so their job and the business that they work for can succeed. What about you? How many hours a day are you investing in yourself so that you can grow and succeed? If your business that you work for continue to do the same thing all the time and not learn to grow and see how things are going with the times, the business would fail. So, same thing with you. If you're not constantly learning and moving forward and growing and investing in yourself, you're not gonna get anywhere. We can't expect for our atmospheres to change when we stay the same. Take a leap of faith, take a risk, take a chance. If you're wondering, how do I take a leap of faith? Don't worry about it. I got it coming up in the next video. From my experience, it's risky, scary, and amazing. Sorry, I won't say anymore. Can't promise that. All right, that's it. 5 easy steps. So you're gonna invest in yourself, right? You're gonna take the time, get the ball rolling, get those steps going, and in a few days, we'll sit and chat about how do you take this leap of faith? How do you invest in yourself big time? It's gonna be great. That's it. Those are the 5 steps. Now, some of the steps, I'm wondering, what is your favorite? Are you looking for that book? Do you have any suggestions? Blase, blase, blase. What does blase even mean? Anyways, comment below with what's the thing that you're excited about. Is it the book you know you should be reading? Is it that language you know you should be learning? Let me know. What is it? We can figure it out together. Chances are there's somebody else that is trying to do the same thing and you guys can be a support to each other. Until next time, I'm done talking here. I'll see you in a couple days. Peace, love, and balance. Invest. Invest, invest, invest. I didn't fall this time.